everyone, and welcome to today's episode where we have the Krista Baker joining us. Hi. Krista, is it Dr. Baker?
No.
Doctor of
Anesthesia. Advanced nurse practitioner.
Okay.
So certified registered nurse anesthetist, and then it's advanced nurse practitioner.
Okay, but that's a doctor to me. I like
I'll keep you alive in surgery.
Yeah, that's very important, very important. Well, thank you for coming out today. The reason we have Krista out today is Krista has started her real estate journey actually several years ago as a local investor.
Yes.
Yeah, so how many doors do you have, Krista?
We had 9.
Okay.
We have 8 now.
Okay.
My son-in-law's in real estate, and we sold him the home that they were living in so they could start their journey on their own too. So
there you go.
We have 8 now. 1 is an Airbnb.
Okay.
And then I guess 9 if you include our personal home.
Okay, there you go. 9 doors. Mm-hmm. It's an asset. So yeah, we'll count that. So tell us about, like, how did you start the first one? Did you just like go, yeah, I'm so gung-ho and I'm so excited and just went out and bought it, or was it a process?
It wasn't a horrible process, thank goodness. You made that very easy. But I did talk with, what got me started was my banker, because I was talking about investing money into retirement.
Yeah.
What do I do? How can I diversify? And he was like, you know what? You ought to quit putting money just in your 403B and put some money in something that you can liquidate easy if you need to. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, that's a great idea, because, you know,
life happens.
Yes, and sometimes you need. And when you're in my business, like when COVID happened.
Oh, right. You couldn't.
You might not be working. I might needed to, you know, so who knows? You know, so I was like, that is a great idea. So then I came and visited you, and we started looking for things. We are not fixer-uppers. My husband is not a repairman, so we needed specific things. We needed to be on the lower end. We needed to start somewhere with maybe a couple is kind of what we thought. She showed us 2 on the same street, and I love that idea. And it needed to not need a lot of work, because we aren't, like I said, we don't do that stuff. So we found 2 homes on the same street. We loved them, and we're able to get them both. And that was our first project, you know. And we did that for about a year and really liked it. We rented them right away, had no trouble. And then just our goal then was to try to do 1 to 2 houses a year. Yeah. My goal is to have 10 homes to rent is what I want, and I'm real close. So
very close, very close. I love it. I love it.
We've been working at, and so it's been probably 7 years, around in there.
Yeah, right at the 7-year mark, from 0 to now having 8 that are investment style properties. So yeah. Okay, and when you started that journey, you said that the banker had said that it's a good way to diversify rather than dumping it all into a 401k.
Yes.
Because we know that what can happen if things shift, that money can all go away. Exactly. But you're still going to have the house, right? So that kind of works out really well. So
well, and something people don't think about is, to me, you are basically only putting in your down payment money.
Correct.
You know, and then your renters are paying your taxes. They're paying your
monthly payment,
and they're paying your payment. Yeah. And so what else, if you figure out what a home is worth and what you put into it, can you make that kind of interest?
Yeah.
You know? That's how we really look at it. And so
absolutely,
it's worth saving up and working hard to keep a good stash to have down payment money when we want to get something, because the outcome is really good when you really, when you think about when you pay that sucker off, how much it's going to be worth, and that you didn't really pay for it.
That's so true. And would you agree that the first one is the hardest?
Yes, and it's stressful, because I didn't know how it was going to work with having a renter and getting a contract. You know, so I have several friends in this business. I'm like, okay, can I look at your contract? Can I look at your contract? Can I see what you do with your renters? And that's kind of how I threw mine together, basically. Yeah. And it's always good to have acquaintances and people that know things and don't be afraid to ask. You know?
Absolutely. And Google is a great source, right? If Edna's phone's not picking up, Google will usually work. So I love that. Okay. So you bought the 2 on the same street, gave that about a year to marinate and make sure you didn't hate it. Yeah. And then what was the next purchase?
The next purchase was, we literally live by you know, we're in northeastern Oklahoma, this beautiful place where there's a college. Well, my daughter wanted to go to college here but didn't want to live at home. So we bought a small house that she could live in near the campus.
Yeah, within walking distance, really. Mm-hmm.
And that was our third home, and worked out beautifully. We literally have never had that place empty. Like the minute it's available, someone rents it.
Number one rule of real estate: location, location, location.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay.
And it's so true.
And so she moved in, had a roommate. The roommate kind of helped to make the difference up for her, and that made the house payment there.
Right.
Okay. And so that was door number 3.
Yes.
Door number 4.
Door number 4 was, I think the little yellow one on Cedar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that one, honestly, we got a great deal on it. Has been the best moneymaker because it's a big home.
Yes.
We got it at a great price.
Yeah.
And I really make a good profit on it. It's one of the few I make a
cash flow.
Yeah. So, and it's funny because in this business, because I have other jobs and other things, we don't use the money from this as a paycheck.
Correct.
So that money stays there. It goes for repairs, things that need done, or
insurance inches up, taxes inch up, repairs happen. Absolutely. Yeah.
So that's been, thank goodness we have it, because when we have something big happen, then we have a little stash, that we're not taking out of our personal money. So
absolutely. I love that. And then around that time, we started kind of doing some creative financing, right? So that was an exciting thing. Don't always assume that you have to have a bank 20-year mortgage, right? So Krista came to me and said, what does this look like? How can we make this happen? And wanted to know what other options they were. And we found a private lender. And that worked out really well.
That worked out great.
Yeah. She's like, it was fantastic.
Yes. And thank goodness there's things like that available, because, you're not always, and the big thing is, okay, something great comes along, you let me know. We just had bought a house not long before, so I didn't have my stash ready. You know what I mean?
Like, exactly.
So
yeah,
there's
that's exactly
always
what
options. And don't be afraid to ask. The one thing I've learned is it doesn't hurt to be told no.
Exactly. It's just no. It's 2 little letters. It doesn't hurt. I promise. So
one of my friends that he's a doctor in Tulsa, and he has bought big apartment complexes.
Oh.
We had a big conversation about 3 weeks ago, and he said, Krista, I want to tell you something crazy, and you're not going to believe me. And I'm like, what? And he goes, I've never paid a down payment. And I'm like, what?
Wow.
And he's like, we have always asked the owner to finance that 20%. Of course, these are giant purchases.
Sure. Yeah.
But they're so interested in selling the big chunk that they're more than willing to finance the down payment. And he goes, always look at multiple doors if you can, because you get better options like that. And he goes, when you're buying a single home, that's not really an option, because most people need their money. They're going to buy something different.
You are so correct.
But he's like, if you're looking at multiple doors, or a lot of them, you have a lot more options when it comes to that. And I'm like, wow, I hadn't thought of it that way. So that was something new to me to think about.
There's so many. And I know that you've been looking at smaller multiple doors lately. So that's always exciting too. So tell me, how did you decide to even be open-minded about the Airbnb? Because that was a big shift, going from long-term rentals to Airbnbs.
The biggest thing for me, honestly, was figuring out how I was going to make sure it stays maintained.
Okay.
Keeping it clean and turning it over, because I'm too busy personally to do it myself.
Oh, yeah.
So I had to make sure, for me, that the organization of having a person available to help me clean and do things like that was the biggest thing.
Okay.
I have wonderful parents that live out near the lake, and my mom and dad were all excited to have an extra source of income. So, a little something.
All right.
So they agreed to be the people taking care of it for me, which is great, because they get a little something, and then I've got this property that I love. And we're looking for a lake property. We want to someday move out to the lake. It's not convenient to do now because of working in town and whatever, but that's our goal. And so finding this property that was so unique and cool, which I absolutely love.
We have to talk about the property.
We have a container home property, and it is
partially underground container home. Yeah. With a pond, on small acreage, and a greenhouse.
Yes, big 30 by 40 greenhouse, a barn, boat storage, tornado shelter.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Fellow that owned it, his name was Mr. Wade, was a fabricator for Indian motorcycles, and he did this all himself, and it was his love.
Pet project. He put so much love, and he was just the most interesting guy.
He was. Yeah. And we just happened upon this with Edna's help, and it was really cool because the fellow was dying of cancer. It worked out that he went to our church. We knew him. And he wanted to sell it to somebody who would care about the property and the land, and he knew we would. So it was really awesome. Yeah. And we do. We love it. We haven't kept the greenhouse up on the inside very well, being as busy as we are, but that's going to change this year, actually.
Oh, there
I have some big plans for that greenhouse. Yeah.
Oh, how fun.
But I love it. We go out and we fish. There's 2 acres behind it that we plan to build like a barn dominium on sometime, and that's going to be our place.
Yeah.
And still keep this container home.
Oh, I love that.
And Airbnb it or have it for our kids to come and stay in when they come to visit, that type of thing. That's what we're thinking.
A little cottage, yes, yeah. So. And I remember when this came up, I knew it would not be a long-term rental. It would be more like an Airbnb. Yeah. And when I contacted you, the cool thing about Krista is she's always willing to just be open-minded and go look. You know, I would call and I would say, okay, Krista, you got to come see this, you know. And it's nothing like what you had asked for, not even where you had asked for, but she was open-minded, and it just kind of all the puzzle pieces fell together. So really you don't have to have all the answers when you start the process.
Sometimes the opportunity is what you need. And then you look at, okay, what can I do with this? Then you get creative and start thinking about, how will this work for me? You know, because you can't say, I need this house with this roof, with this, you know. Yeah. You're not going to find it half the time if you're real specific. But if you just keep your mind open to what's out there and then see, you know, maybe what can happen.
I love it. I love it. And so how is the Airbnb? Because you've had that now for 3 years?
I think almost 4.
4 years. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So, because this will be our 4th summer.
Okay.
So, we honestly, it's always a little slow in the winter.
Sure.
I expect that.
Yeah.
We always do decent at the holidays. Somebody will rent it right at the holiday time. Yeah. But it's been a little slow the last few months. And honestly, in the last week, I have had 6 bookings.
Oh my gosh.
For this summer. So it's already started. Boom, boom, boom. So usually what it makes me in its busy time is more than my door-to-door rental long-term every day.
Absolutely.
So when I add it up, it does better.
Yeah, yeah. It's Airbnb is a cool little moneymaker for sure. So, well, I think it's awesome that you are so open-minded on all of this. And the reason I wanted to have you on is we get so many people who want to be investors, but they think, well, I have to have this big, huge chunk of money. And that's just not true. You do have to have your 20% down and your closing costs. Yeah. But when you're purchasing smaller homes, you know, then that's not anything that's super crazy. Also, there's all kinds of creative financing that we can help you with. But also the fact that how do you have time to do it? Because now you have a full-time job,
yes,
right? And then you have a really cool side gig. Tell us about the side gig.
Well, so I do anesthesia. I love that, but I always have had a love for beauty and all things kind of facials and that make you feel great about yourself, right? So I started doing Botox, Xeomin, and all those neurotoxins about 8 years ago. Just on some friends to start and learning how to do it. And then eventually it's turned into a really, really great side business for me. And really it's the money that allows me to do these jobs, you know, these rentals, because that money is not money I count on for my bills, not money I count on for anything.
Literally the side hustle.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Truly.
Yeah.
And so I do Botox. I will soon be doing fillers. As I get older, it's the things that I'm liking and thinking I might want to do to try to keep the wrinkles away and keep the skin smooth.
So because I don't partake yet, I never say never. What is the difference between Botox and fillers?
So fillers actually is something that goes in your body and adds volume to take the wrinkles away.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So Botox, Xeomin, Dysport, those are all neuromodulators. And what they do is they block the muscle from working. So they paralyze the muscle temporarily.
Oh, so this divot, you could just paralyze the divot and make that go away?
It not work.
What'll that look like, Jill, on the next podcast? I'll just be like...
It's funny because we can, there's lots of options. We can make you where you don't move at all, if that's what you choose.
I'm very expressive.
Or you have a little movement. I mean, there's lots of, you know.
Okay, and you've been doing it for 8 years, so that's a lot of experience here in Tahlequah. And I kind of love the fact that what you actually do for a full-time job, if something went wrong, you could keep me alive, right?
Absolutely. Yes. And you know that it's kind of all worked into each other, because my job at work is to sometimes numb somebody's whole arm. I mean, we paralyze the arm for a procedure.
Sure.
You know, so it doesn't hurt and so you don't have pain afterwards. We'll do interscaling blocks and different blocks. That's basically what we're doing in your forehead.
Okay.
You know, it's the same thing. You're blocking the muscle movement from working. And, you know, so to me, it was just like, oh, well, yeah, this makes sense. I know how to do. Okay, let's do that. Show me how. You know, I was all excited.
So cool. Yeah. Okay. And so, if somebody wanted to do that, do you have a Facebook page, or how do they connect?
Literally never advertised. It's all been word of mouth.
Really? Because I know so many people who use you,
and it's just friends. And I'm the age that's my friends and my friend groups and my kids' parents' friends, and but. My phone number's out there. I'm willing to give it to anyone. You can message me on Facebook personally. I have a Facebook page, Krista Rittenhouse-Baker.
Okay.
And yeah.
Perfect. We will definitely tag you below so that they can find you in case they're interested in that. So, okay, I did not realize that. That's really cool. And do you have a place of business locally, or?
So I have an office in my home.
Okay.
The other thing that I do is Botox parties, which is really fun, and that's something kind of different.
A Botox party.
Yes. So.
Jill, let's go.
Women like to do it together.
Jill is too young. Jill is too young.
We're too young. Maybe. So what I like is if you can, 5 ladies want to get together and they all want to do it. Well, they can have their snacks and hang out and talk, and then we do a little Botox gathering. And it works out great. What I do is the host, whoever hosts it, and usually the friends take turns so they all get a little benefit of it, is whoever is hosting the party, for every $75 sold, they get a free unit of Botox. So it gives them a discount in the end for their...
And how much does a unit cost?
A unit of Botox is $9.50.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
The average person uses anywhere from 28 to 38.
Is that individual shots? 28 shots?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. There's usually around 4 units per.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, because you can put more than one unit in the needle. Okay, that makes complete sense. So.
And it's a teeny tiny needle. That is the most asked question.
Oh, really?
It is a 30 gauge itty bitty insulin needle that we use. Does not hurt very bad at all.
Do you use like a numbing thing, or it's not really necessary,
but
because
it's not necessary.
the needles
hardly
are so
ever
tiny.
have anybody really want that.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Well, there you go. That's more than I realized. So I think the Botox party, that's probably the route I would go. So I could.
It's pretty fun.
In case
I have a lot of groups.
I'd make my friends go first. Make sure it doesn't hurt too bad. So, well, we were so excited because, again, you just have so much going on, and it's awesome to see small business owners here in Tahlequah just continue to thrive. And really, we feel like it's giving back to the community because you shop local, you spend your money here, you buy real estate here, you rent it out. I mean, it's the complete full cycle.
Use a local handyman.
There you go.
Yes, there you go. That's something we've been needing in this town. I found a few great ones.
Okay.
But
don't give their names out.
No. I'm going to keep that secret for
I'm not even going to ask, so maybe off camera. Okay, now one of the things we do before we wrap up, we like to ask a controversial question. Okay. And this month's question is, do you always make your bed every morning?
So you are going to laugh at this. For the first 15 years of marriage, which I've been married 31.
She was 10 when she got married, if you're doing the math.
So Brett is not a bed maker. His whole side is always a mess. In the last 10, he now pulls his side of the bed up too. So women, don't lose hope.
Took a long time to get in there.
I've always been a bed maker. My mom made us do it every morning.
Okay.
But So yes, I always pull mine up. I fold my side down. His was always a pit, and he wouldn't pull it up. But I would have mine because I'm like, I feel like bugs won't be in my bed when I wake up.
There you go.
Come in at night.
Isn't that funny?
So yes, But now we do. He does it too. And I'm like, do you see the good habits actually eventually happen?
Eventually. 30. How many years of marriage? 30.
We've been married 31.
31 years of marriage. Okay, so that's amazing. Well, guys, as always, please like, follow, and share. And if you have a group of gal pals, or I guess guys do Botox too, right?
Yes.
If you have a group of friends that would like to have a Botox party, please reach out to Krista. We'll put her information below because, you know, if she gets some more side hustle money, we might be able to sell her a few more. A few more rental properties. There we go. As always, also, if there's a topic you would like for us to discuss, please let us know and we'll check into it. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Thank you.